Welcome to my next video. In this video, we will learn how to make the ball bounce off from the edges. If you have seen when we were using the mouse pointer to move it, or we were adding the velocity, it was going out of the screen. But definitely you don't want your players to be out from the canvas, right? So this is called normally canvas or game area where we play the game. So inside that we want to keep the ball. So what I want to move the ball around, and then it should be bouncing off from the edges. Edges means the boundaries. So first what I'll do, I'll definitely give ball the velocity. So for that what we learned is the velocity x. We give some number, and suppose let me give it let me move it a bit slow, and of course if I want to move it to the corner sides, we can give velocity y to some number. So it will start moving, and if you see it will did I do something wrong? Oh, I'm so sorry. As you see, what is the error? The error is we have defined paddle and we are trying to access ball. It doesn't know what a ball is. So now if you see, let me play again. See, it is going out of the screen. So what we need to do is we need to create a boundary. Now imagine you are playing in the field cricket, and uh, you don't want your ball to go outside the boundary. You want it to bounce back from the whenever it is hitting the boundary. So of course in that case what you need to do, first put a net or boundary on the place by which you want to limit your ball's reach. So here also it's a two-way step. It's a two-step process. First, we need to give the edge. We need to create the boundary or edges. So for that, what we need to do, there is a function here, createEdgeSprites. When we call this function createEdgeSprites, remember, it creates the boundary towards all the four walls. So you don't have to put like 4 times createEdgeSprite. No, if you put one time, it will create the boundary for all the walls. Now what I want, the ball should be bouncing off the edges. So there, just try to see properly. Here is a function called bounceOff. Now for sprite, what we have learned, every time we give ball or our sprite, the sprite name is ball. The target is going to be a keyword called edges. When we say edges, it understands that I need to bounce from all the edges. Do you see? Now it is bouncing off. Let me set a bit different speed. It will bounce on randomly on all the walls. Do you see? Now you may say, ma'am, I don't want to bounce it from all the walls. I just want to bounce it from the top and bottom wall. So how we write? Suppose I only want to bounce it off from the bottom wall. So we can see when we write bottom, you will find bottom edge. All the edge has its own name, okay? Top edge, bottom edge. So if I write top edge and bottom edge, if I write bottom edge, let us see what happens. See, it just bounced off from only one edge, that is the bottom edge. It will not bounce off from any other edge. So if you just give it top edge, if you select top edge, and then of course we need to move it towards up first so that it bounces from the top, and let us see what happens. See, it only bounced from the top edge, not from anywhere else. It just went out of the left and right edge, correct? Here if you see, we have left edge and right edge. So if I give left, and if you see, oh I'm so sorry, I need to move it first to more left so that it bounces. Yeah, so it went to the left. For negative we have left and bounce and out of the screen. Again the last one, it's of course right. So we have top, bottom, left and right. Here also if I need to move it right, so let me make it this way so that it, of course, it happened. So what are the names of the edges? Top edge. If you just try to remember with only maybe top, bottom this way, because you will get the suggestion, auto suggestion. Left edge and right edge. So first it's a two-way step, of course, and normally if I want to move it with all the edges, what we write? Edges. It will happen or work for all the edges. It will never go out of the screen. That is what. So now let us recap what we learned. So first are the questions. The question number 1 is, what is the process of creating the boundary or giving the edges to the boundaries of the canvas? Next is how we bounce off the ball from the boundaries, from all the boundaries. Now try to remember the syntax. Okay. Now the next question is, that is the question number 3. What should I do if I want to bounce it from the top and bottom edge? And again, what should I do if I want to bounce up from the left or the right edge? What I should do if I want to okay, and the last question will be, where should I put the code for bouncing of them from the boundaries, either inside the draw or outside the draw? Thank you so much and see you in the next video. Happy coding!